Hello, and welcome back to our introduction to programming and problem solving. In this particular lecture video, we'll be looking at representing algorithms using programming languages. So in our earlier videos, we defined or we established the definition of an algorithm, which is the step-by-step approach that we take to solve a problem. And we looked at representations of an algorithm, looked at natural language as means of representing an algorithm, flowcharts. We looked at pseudocodes also. So at this point, we are going to combine all of these ideas, all of these solutions that we've been able to come up with, and then turn these solutions into running code. So here, the algorithm, the flowchart, or the pseudocode you used is actually brought into programming languages. Programming languages are languages that a programmer uses to communicate to the computer. So let's look at a simple example of a Python program that is used to calculate for the area of a triangle. So here we are defining a function. What is a function? We're looking at that in detail. But a function is a piece of code that performs a specific task that may be reused. So we defined, so this is Python. This language is in Python. Everything here is in Python. So this is a comment telling us that we are bringing up a function, okay, with two arguments and base and then the height. And we are saying that at the end of the function should return 1 over 2 or 0.5 times base times height, which is the area of a triangle. So first, we are taking input from the user. Okay, so the base equals float. Float is a data type. Okay, so we are saying that base, anything that has decimal after it, is a float. So 4.0 is a float. 17.0 is a float. Okay, so the input or the value that we are expecting or the data type that we are expecting from the user is a float. Okay, so they're saying that the base or the value here is supposed to be if we're asking the user to input a float. Then we come to the height, saying here it's taking a float as a data type. We'll be looking at data types into details in our last videos. Then it inputs, the user is asked to input a float to fill in the value of the height. So this is what is happening. This is a variable. This is a variable. So these are basically containers. Yeah. So if the user says 2 for base or 2 for height, this is what has happened. So when you go to the base variable here, base, let's use B to represent the base. It has the value 2.0. When we come to the height variable here, it also has 5.0. Keep in mind, we are dealing with floats. Okay. Now calculating the area. In order to calculate the area, this is the formula for calculating the area. Okay. So area is calculate area. What we are saying is that we are calling this function. Okay. Function that we created here. Okay. And then in this function, we are saying that these are the arguments. Okay. So what should happen here is that anytime we call this function, it's supposed to have the values of the base and the height and then perform this mathematical calculation. So then the function is going to return 1 over 2 times base times height. Okay, so for our function to be specific, we are going to get, based on our value, we are going to get 1 over 2 times 2.0 times 5.0. So in Python, we call something implicit conversions, which we're looking at in our Python series also. So here is going to be 1 over 2 times 10. This goes out here 5. As such, the area of our triangle would have the value 5. So this language or this command here is saying or is telling the computer to print out the area of the triangle we calculated here to the outside world. Okay, with this test. So the area of the triangle is, then you have the value 5 in what? Square units. So it's going to be, the area of the triangle is 5 square units. So that is it for using programming languages to represent algorithms. Okay, some few assignments that you should try your hands on. Drawing a flowchart to show the recipe for baking a cake. Drawing a flowchart to show how to create a Gmail account. Drawing a flowchart to show how to register for national service. Okay. So in our next video, we will be taking one of this or another example, another problem, and then we are going to derive an algorithm, a pseudocode, a flowchart, and a programming language to solve the problem. Thank you.